Ooh, we are streaming. We are streaming right now. This is a hello. I know nobody's watching yet because how could you? This just barely went live, and apparently I don't know how to use a computer, even though this just barely went live. There we are. We're live. We're here. And so I don't really have anything intended for the stream. This was just me coming to talk to the camera a little bit and maybe make some artwork. I was gonna kind of walk you guys through some of the fun artistic nerd things I like doing, including some of the fun AI tools I use online and some of the fun AI tools I use locally. Blah 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 blah. None of that matters. You know what does matter? It's a silly stream. So I was like, I shouldn't call it a silly stream, but now I'm like, it's a silly stream. So let's go to a desktop. Do we have a desktop around here? Boom, we have a desktop. Welcome to the desktop. So first things I'm gonna do, I'm open up my browser. Oh, the browser's good. I'm gonna open the browser. Oh, but first things first, blur face for security reasons. The security, and the security is good. I don't have to worry about security because the security is good. So go back to the desk. Okay, here we are. We got my face here. So here is the lovely photograph of myself that I took. It's beautiful, I know, but I'm going to use one of those online AI tools to cut myself out of pure, unadulterated laziness. So the tool that I like to use the most is called Remove BG Online, and it's got some limitations, but those limitations are not my problem. It's not my problem. Those limitations, that is somebody else's problem. Absolutely somebody else's problem. So, first things first, we remove background. So there's one on here that my boss uses at the firm that I work for, the website firm. And it's this one right here. And it's cool, but it's got one limitation that a lot of people may not like. And that's when it generates, it does a really good job actually of cutting you out. Look at that. That's almost perfect. But if you see here, I uploaded a 1920 by 1080 image. And the option to download it without logging in or anything is 666, nice, by 375. I had to say that carefully because I have dyslexia. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to download this to my desktop. Is my desktop a safe place to work from? Did I put a bunch of incriminating files all over my desktop? Yes, I did. Nothing interesting, but a lot of things. I'm going to leave a few things here because I'm going to talk about them. Most of these are shit posts. So move the trash, bring back over here. Real quick, this is a total side project here, but I've grabbed up the version of Calibri. Now, by default, Calibri has pixel fonts and vector fonts in there, raster, and so it's ugly as sin when it goes to the pixel fonts. I don't know why they're in there, but I opened it up in my spreadsheet program and it looks like hot garbage. Not a fan. But you know what I am a fan of? I'm a fan of. Well, let me get that other image here. Let's see, that's screen. Yeah, there we go. Cut, desktop, paste. There. They're in the same folder. So let's open this mammoth jammer in the GIMP. Now, I've been really loving. I've been loving using Krita. Has like the best paint program, the best draw program. It's absolutely phenomenal for drawing and painting. But where it really just kind of shits the bed is manipulation. And GIMP really, it's like the manipulation master when it comes to images. So in my head, I feel like for the rest of my life, it's going to be 2 editors. All right, so here's the size estimates. As you can see, this little guy, he tiny, but he alpha-y. So I'm going to do is I'm going to layer, scale layer, that to 1080. So the thing about that's weird. Close enough. The thing about transparency and when you cut things out is you want them to be a little soft around the edges anyways. And by me blowing it up, and that may not show up on your view here, but makes it a little soft around the edges. So there it is, the cut. So we go layer, transparency, alpha to selection on that top layer. And then we come down here. And I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm gonna use an alpha mask. A layer mask. Add layer mask. Boom. And if you're new to layer mask, you haven't played with it before, basically white is visible and black is invisible, and all the grays are that invisibility layer between the 2 points. So right now I'm selected, but I want to select everything that's not me. So I'm going to invert my selection. And now it's selecting everything that's not me. And I'm going to change this color to black because, again, an alpha mask is black and white. There's no colors. It's just gradients. I'm going to turn the fan on a second. And once we fill it in here, you're going to see that, boom. It does a pretty damn good job of cutting me out. Look at that. There's a little bit of tracing there, but we can modify that. But hold on. I'm going to leave this on the screen for a second so that I can go turn the fan on. Ooh, because I'm using the powerful audio cleaning software that is baked in to OBS, I really, truly hope that you are not hearing the fan. But it is 77 degrees in Long Beach tonight. A little more warm than I like for an evening. So that big box fan that you cannot see is doing its best to cool me down. All right, so where were we? Ah, yes, the edges. Now, for anyone who starts watching the stream right here, you're welcome. So I have white hair. It's very white on the edges. I have beautiful silverback mane, but you can see this cutout has given us a little bit of a glow around the edges. Around the skin and everything, it's a little bit more sharp. It's a little soft, but we got it. But what we can do is we can manipulate the alpha layer so that we can tighten it up just a little bit, just a little tighten up. And the nice thing about this is because an alpha layer is just black or white, no color, you can just go in here and use the levels tool. This is cool. I like this a lot. So first thing we're gonna do, move the middle layer around the hair and wash the hair. Look at that. Look at that. Cleaner cut around the hair. Cleaner cut around the skin. Honestly, you could probably get away with doing that, nothing else. But we're also gonna bring that in, sharpen the edges a little bit. You know what though? Just a little bit, and I'm gonna bring that back down a little bit. There it is. There's a perfect, in my opinion, a perfect cut. Look at that. So there we are. We now have a perfect cut. You can't even tell that I filmed that right here. I mean, obviously you can tell because if I go right here, you can be like, oh yeah, he clearly filmed right there. But look at that. I could put anything in that background. Let's find something to put in that background. Where's my browser at? That's right. New page. And new mother sucking browser. I have the preview over here on my other screen so I can make sure the stream doesn't fail. Because this is my first time playing with live streams. I don't actually know what's going to cause the stream to fail versus not fail. I'm new to all this. And if you end up watching this either live or in a recording, and you say, hey, this was cool, Arthur, you should do more live streams, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments below. Let me know. So one of my favorite places to get copyright, not copyright free, but lack of copyright, non-restricted images. It's right here. I'm looking for a TV. That's what I need in the background. Old TV. We got old TV. It's the wrong type of TV. So again, for those who are not familiar with Unsplash, this is one of the websites where people upload images to be shared with zero copyright restrictions. They are free to use for commercial, and they're free to use for non-commercial, of course. And they're not the only ones, but they're one of the bigger ones, Unsplash. There's a few others. We'll probably play with a few others tonight, just because. First off, that's a cool image. I'm a big fan of that, so I'm just going to heart that for later. That's cool. That's cool as hell. But that's not what I'm looking for. I need a TV. You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for like snow. So let's go TV snow. Maybe someone's got it. No, that's not quite it either, is it? Let's type in static. Hey, look at that winner right there. TV fucking static. I'm going to copy this image, which will not give me the highest resolution, but I only need it to be close to this. This is for a thumbnail. This is if I decide to do more streams. This is basically my first stream is me building the thumbnail for my streams. That makes sense? Paste as new layer. Oh man, look at this. And then boom. I said boom. There I am in the shot. And if you look, again, pretty clean cut. It's a pretty clean cut in this shot. That looks decent. And for a free pseudo-anonymous AI tool, it does a good job. And that's why I keep using it. But I don't stand out very much here. One of the things you want to do when you're compositing a good image, and sometimes I'm really good at this, and sometimes I fuck up on this, but what you really want to do is you want to have something to separate your subject. This is like photography 101. Sometimes people can do it with like a soft focus, and that's cool, but that's not appropriate for this kind of image. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do we can break it with a shadow, which might try that. But we could also just change the color palette of the thing behind us. And one of the simplest ways I try that is I darken it. And there's a method to my madness, because you're thinking, oh no, you're gonna darken it, it's not gonna be as bright. And you're kind of right. But here we go. Actually, it doesn't look like static anymore, does it? But we've darkened this layer. But if we bring up the saturation, the colors come back, even though it's darker. And you know what? I'm going to do it again. Max it out twice. Boom. Okay, so now it looks digital again. It looks like digital mess of noise. But it's substantially darker. It also kind of looks like like a blanket. Which is not necessarily what I'm going for. But that's okay. And this is going to be kind of a generic picture that I'm going to use for a while until I make a better one, which is kind of hard to beat the beauty that is this. But I think for this particular project, I'm just going to drop the word live on it, and it's probably going to be just behind me. So let's grab over here and let's type in live. That's a mess up there. OCRA. It's going to be the exact same font. Boom. This is a font I grabbed from Adobe's website, and I converted it to a local font. I really should do a video on that, because sometimes you go on a website and they have great fonts. And you're like, I would like that, please. And that's one way to do it. 512. Oh, forgot to select it all. 512. I really like the GIMP's text tool, but I feel like it also has a lot of really weird, squirrely things about it. 40. That's not that. We're almost there. 720. Okay, but now we're going to shrink between the letters. There we go. Now we go layer, crop to content. Then we grab this thing. Oops, to image. There we go. I said there we go. There we go. All right. Live. Not happy with it. The way it was in my head and the way it is here is not, it's not very cash money, if you know what I mean. So let's stretch this thing out here. Scale tool. Let's grab the top. And yeah, let's pull the top up. And the bottom down a little bit. Scale. That's much better. Oops. Gotta hide the top layers here. Put me back. That's more of what I was thinking. But I feel like this could use a bit of a glow. So let's add a glow. Let's add a glow to this. So first thing we do, we're going to duplicate the live text. Blur. Gaussian blur. Now, Gaussian blur is one of those tools that you can do a lot of damage really quick, like that. And you can see there's a bit of a restraint problem here. So let's get to cancel. Make a new layer that's a full 1920 by 1080. Merge it down to our new layer. Good, hide that one. Now let's go filters, blur, Gaussian blur. Interesting, interesting. Put that back. I think that's the winner, maybe. But it's not. It's not the winner because the glow is not coming off of moi. It needs to come off me. So cancel. This is getting all in the weeds here. We have an alpha layer here still. So layer, transparency, alpha to selection. I see you're being that way. Layer, transparency, alpha to selection. We come down to this layer here. All right. So this is where we're getting spicy and dicey. We're going to go ahead and just delete. Now you can't tell here. Let me make that a little bit bigger. But if I remove me, and I remove that, you can see that. So the full layer, we just want that to glow. But now that can go above my head. Turn that back on. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You see what we're doing here? You see the magic sauce that we're pulling off? Let me turn that back on. And now the glow overlaps me a little bit. That's the important part. Like it now looks like that I am affected by that glow of live. And I'm not gonna lie. This is really good. Ryan Wilcox. Text running right here. Anything meaningful level. Very true, Ryan. Hello, Ryan. I miss you. How are you? Yes, that is true. How long ago did you say that? I wasn't looking at the chat at all. Again, I am new to all this. And I am here for my peeps. See, normally I have a meetup on Tuesdays, and it just kind of fell through. So I was like, hey, fuck it. Oh, J-O? Hello, Joe, hello. Also, I gotta keep in mind there's a massive delay. I think it's almost like a minute delay on the feed that I'm watching of myself versus, yeah. All right, so that's number one. We have a thumbnail for our live stream. Now I wonder if I can put this in my live stream while I'm streaming live. I don't know how this works. Again, I'm going to show you another magical behind the scenes here. This is my OBS. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And the chat over here, that's neat. But I think I'm going to move you over here. So I think I'm going to notice you better if you're closer to my first screen. I know I'm weird. Some people are like, your screens are backwards. You're supposed to have your second screen on the other side. I like it this way. I focus over here. My notes over there. And also the camera's right there. So when somebody calls me on a video chat, I'm like facing them a bit more. I guess I move like this. Facing them a bit more. Sweet. All right. So I'm pretty happy with this thumbnail. So I'm going to save this thing and see if we can figure out how to get this into OBS. We're learning together for those who are also ignorant like me. File, save as. So go down here to Studio, Video, Show Tools. Now you're getting deep into how I'll make the sausage. These are my secrets. Do not tell them. Live thumbnail dot. That way I can come back here and edit it later again. And export as live thumbnail PNG. Boom. All right. Close that mamma jamma. Let's go back out into Studio. I'm just going to let it all hang out, baby. Show Tools. This is my Show Tools folder. These are all the little pieces that I put together to make my videos. And I guess now moving forward, my live streams. Including my very favorite Bat Tux animation I did. Oh, let's get that again. That's fun. That's fun. I haven't had the sound. But they don't quite line up. I should probably re-render it so it matches the music perfectly. There's the thumbnail. You know what? This is a banger. I'm looking at it again, and I'm really happy with this. So how do we get this on the thing? So is there something I can do in OBS? People say that I have my second and third on the left. Oh, so my dyslexia is really messing with me right now. On your left, you're like me. Or do you mean the monitor's left? I think you mean like me. Over this way. Well, I'm learning. I'm not learning. I'm dyslexic. Stream. Terms of service. Ignore streaming rules. Looks like I cannot modify the current stream while streaming. That's okay. You know what? The thumbnail's ready for round two. I'm gonna switch this over to studio mode. That way I can set up this little thing. I'm gonna take a quick little break because I need some water. So I'm gonna make a new one here called, oh, I have a BRB, don't I? I do have a BRB, but you know what? This is rename BRB still. All right, and then we're gonna add image source. Live. Boop. Live thumbnail. All right, so I'm going to switch over to this thumbnail for a little bit. Grab some water. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Each with a less different resolution. Oh, the L is not so bad, especially if the different resolutions. That throws me off, especially you drag one window and it just like changes size. I know you could do like scaling, but I never set it up because I'm a lazy bum. But yeah, I feel you on that one. I feel you. Anyways, I will be back. Give me 30 seconds here. 30 seconds ish. I'm back. I hope you guys did not miss me too much. I'm back. I got the good hydration to keep my brain and my mouth working because I didn't realize how much you feel the urge to talk when you are streaming. This takes effort. This takes effort. Whew. But I think what I want to like look at right now and play with right now is live ESRGAN. Yeah, I use tiling window management. I couldn't live. That's correct. The tiling manager does take a lot of that thought process away, but I'm one of those weirdos who are like, well, I guess I'm not really running Gnome anymore because I've switched to Pop! OS. I switched from Pop! OS to Pop! OS from Debian, and I think the thing that pulled me in the most about that, and this is a little side rant, is a lot of the things that I want to configure Debian to look and feel like. Um, it feels like a lot of those things are done out of the box of Pop! OS. Like well, I have a desktop I can show you. Um, the bar being in the bottom, like right out the gate, you got that. And I know that's like not hard to set up because that's just an example though, because there are things like the way Pipewire audio is configured on Pop! OS. I struggled to get it set up that way on Debian, and on here it's out of the box. It just goes. So it's been a journey, and it's something I had to realize that like I've tried to staying away from corp backed Linux distributions because I had such a bad relationship with Ubuntu. You know, they were doing a lot of very Microsofty things I thought were relatively unethical, and then I look at a company like Pop! OS, and their business model is not exactly the same as Ubuntu, but they are they are still building an operating system as part of their overall product, and therefore some of the things they're going to do are going to take a priority over the open standards. Now, I'll stick with them for now because their new desktop apparently is going to be running. Been rocking Fedora lately. Dude, Fedora. I need to get my hands on some Fedora. I feel like I know there's a point back when Silverblue first kind of hit the scene, or at least when I was first aware of it. I played with it for about 10 minutes and was infuriated. And I think that might have been because of where it was at the time, but also could have been my expectations, if that makes sense. Once your expectations are different, I guess. I've been in the flat pack for a hot minute now, and maybe that's why I need to learn. But that, look, man, we got all over the place here. Focus. Water. It's just water. Cheers. Stay hydrated, kids. Ooh. Image resizing. Let's play with some image resizing. I even make a video on this. I'm gonna look this up because I feel like either I made a video on this or I was thinking about making a video on this, or I decided like that doesn't make sense for a video, or haven't gotten around to it. But I've been playing with an image resizing software that actually runs on the CPU. So I did not make a video on this. I'm making a video on this now. This is happening right now. All right. So real. All right. Let's go back to the desktop. Moved from Manjaro to Fedora. So I really appreciated Manjaro. It was kind of an exciting experience because that was the first time after a long time Debian user having the fresh packages and everything. But after about 6 months on Manjaro, I realized that you're just either your shit's gonna break, or I mean, it's either broken or it's gonna break. It's not a matter of will it break; it's when it breaks. And I mean, for some people, they like digging in there and fixing things. But fuck, man, I'm too old to dig and fix things anymore. I'm fucking 43. I don't want to go around repairing things. I just want to like have it run and be happy and like not think about. I want to focus on the dorky tools that I want to focus on, and I don't want to fix Xorg, which is like the most common thing that broke for me in Manjaro was Xorg. It just absolutely, yeah. Let's see. Real ESRGAN. Okay, so this, unlike, well, let's look at some of the others. There was the older one. There was Waifu 2X, which was cool, and I use these at work, and I know like a lot of people think this is mostly just for upscaling like comic books and anime, but at my job, our clients would be like, here's our logo. It's the only version we have. And it'd be like this tiny thumbnail, and I could drop it into this program and blow it up in a way that looked relatively decent. And often from there, I could just do like a little bit of cleanup in the GIMP, maybe trace it with Inkscape, and then deliver them something that was closer to what they ordered, 15 years ago when they had a graphic designer make it and they just shrunk it down to a tiny little GIF, And so it's been a magical piece of software, absolutely magical. But then I've kind of relied on websites like this to host it because it requires special GPU hardware. Not special, it's like an NVIDIA card, but it's a proprietary. First of all, I don't want to buy a video card that requires me to have a proprietary driver if I can avoid it. And I just don't want to have to like do that much modification. And I can run Real ESRGAN on my laptop because it's all CPU based. And the CPU on my laptop is only, well, it's a lot slower than my desktop, I guess. But it's still very functional. They also have a experimental Android app that I used. It totally did a good job of doing the image on the Android app, but then it crashed when I tried to save the image out of the app. So we'll come back to that later. So yeah, this one See, you can compile it if you want, but they have some pre-compiled binaries, I think. Yeah, there you go. Portable executable files. Now, for the lazy, like myself, portable is awesome. So this grabs you a zip. I don't need it because I got the newest version right now. But I put it in there. I dropped it in my .local folder, made some aliases, yada, 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 yada. I guess I can show you where that is, but local, here we are. Yada, 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 yada. There's ESRGAN. There's their sample videos and images and stuff. There's the binary itself and the models. These are the model files, the different types. You have different types. Some work really good for images, that like comic books and manga, and other versions work good on photographs. They kind of fall apart on photographs of human faces. Everything kind of turns into that weird, like felt human face thing. But for things like beach scenery, close up of people's hands, something that comes up once in a while, we have these ambiguous photographs of someone holding a glass or something, and I need upscale there, so it does that. But by default, unlike Waifu 2X, which the default for that was 1.6 size increase, this one on average has a 4-time increase. Boom, 4 times, which makes a lot more options. But so this, like exe right here, exe. Did I just say a 20-year-old thing? Exe. This executable, I have aliased in my .zsh. So now I can just go ESRGAN, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. I probably needed that. I'm going to go ahead and close this. I'm going to reopen this. And we're going to go into Studio. Let's find something here. Show tools. You know what? Fuck it. Copy that. We're going to start with my face. Oh, I need to clean this up. All right. Oops. I hope you guys can read this. I hope it's legible. LS CD desktop LS. There we are. So ESRGAN help. I usually do this because I can never remember the name of the thing. So the default is Real ESR Anime Video 3. Not sure why that's the default, but that's the default. But for an image, that's going to make things really cartoony. So ESRGAN input, live thumbnail, output, test.png. Thinking about it, doing it. This is the anime one, anime video. And we're going to zoom on these results. It is done. Let's crack this thing open. So on this screen display, you're probably not going to be able to tell a difference. But if we zoom into 100%, this is what I mean by that weird felt look. It's like not high resolution, but it's like fake resolution. And I kind of like my skin is slowly turning into either like a watercolor painting or a Muppet. I'm not sure which one it is. Yeah, the edges look good though. There's that. So the other model, let's go back here, and then that's the Real ESRGAN X4 Plus. Now this one seems to do a bit better on human faces. But live thumbnail test. N for name. I did something wrong. I forgot to type -O. It's always a simple syntax. Here we go. Let's do it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, that one takes a little bit longer too. But again, doesn't take that much time. You can crunch frames with this. For the record, this thing, if you export a video into a folder as JPEGs, and then you can point ESRGAN to that folder and have it spit out each frame to the other folder, and you can recompile that video into a video feed, and you can upsample video that way. I've done some tests with some drone footage that I wanted to upscale to 4K. Results may vary. Things don't look truly high resolution. They look like they've been artificially increased the resolution. Animation, however, always looks fantastic. Any second now here, folks. I didn't lose you, did I? You guys still here? You guys still here? Who's here? How do I see who's here? How do I understand what is happening in my thing? It says 2 people are watching. That checks out. 2 people. 2 lovely viewers. Or 3. All I know is you are all lovely. Let's look at the results of this one here. So this is the one that's less animation focused. I'm going to get all the way up here, the 100%. We're going to have, on this one, it actually looks a lot better than I was expecting. It's got less of that felt thing. I do like the weirdness that's happening with my facial hair. It looks kind of gross. I appreciate that. But you know what? I'm going to call this one. This one's a banger. This is a good one. This looked way better than my, yeah, that's apparently I have dandruff and or food crust on my chest. And it really brings that out. And I like that for me. There's some banding there. That's weird. Was that banding in the original? The banding is in the original. See, you don't see it sometimes until you get nice and close. But look at. I'm gonna. Sorry, 100% here. That cut looks so clean on the edge there. That's one of the areas where it really, really, really shines. Thank you. I'm glad you are still here. Thank you for. It's lonely when you don't know what's going on because, yeah, I'm new to this. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. This one does not look. If you look at the distortion in the background, does not look nearly as good as the original because it's trying to smooth all that out, and some things were not designed to be smoothed. It's real subtle. But yeah. Now, if I smooth myself out, I could do it that way, and that worked great. I'm gonna try the 4K thing again, but with faces and this particular algorithm. Not on this stream, obviously. I'll do it in the future when I can have it run in the background. Because I think last time I did it, it was like a 2-minute clip, and it took about half an hour, and that was with the faster anime one. I should try out this one. Yeah. So that is Real ESRGAN. It's it says I have 2 browsers. Oh, there it is. Real ESRGAN. We'll see if I realize I don't know how to do this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just drop in. Well, I dropped this into the chat. How do I chat, folks? How do I chat? I don't know how to chat in live. Let's see. Bring this down. Can I not chat? I gotta be able to chat. Whoop. Oh, I can chat. It's right there. Boom. That's just in case anybody needs the link to this open source program if they want to play with it. I really very much enjoyed this one. Yeah. Whew. I got to that point where my brain has left my body, and I've been streaming for the longest I've ever streamed. It's been 38 minutes. I'm still here, but I think now it's time for another water break. Thank you. A little bit of a delay, but I appreciate it. I'm gonna have fun with this delay. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be is that I'll check it out. Is your laptop still the X1 Carbon? So let me switch screens here. Let me switch so you can see me. So my laptop is still this X1. Oh, this is my second X1 Carbon. I bought from a buddy the 4th gen, and I loved it. But I felt there was a few limitations, and so this is the 6th gen. Oh shit, which gen did I have? I don't think I had the 4th. I don't think I went from 4th to 6th. I went from an older. I think it was 3rd gen to 6th gen. This is the 6th gen. With an 8th gen. This is why I get confused. 6th gen X1 Carbon has an 8th gen Intel in it, and this one's got the 16 gigs of RAM and the i7. But the big thing for this one was, and this is one of those things that's is either super important or it's not. USB-C charging. Like I'm frustrated by proprietary chargers in the age of USB-C, and I shit you not, this tiny 15-watt USB-C charger that I found on the ground will charge my laptop. It'll charge my phone, charge my tablet, it'll charge my earbuds, and I even have a plug to charge my smartwatch. And you can buy a charger for technically they'll work with my laptop for like $10 now. And I know like older ThinkPads buying a $10 charge is one thing, but this will charge more than just like when I go on vacation, I just bring a USB-C charger, and that alone was enough for me to want to upgrade to the newer one. About the 7th gen at the end of the year from Lenovo outlet. It's been quite a good laptop, but the screen is starting to have issues. The battery doesn't last 4 or 5 hours. That's interesting. Now, I don't know about the 7th gen, but I was able to get, because I bought this used, this 6th gen, I was able to buy a brand new battery for it. And, well, like the third party batteries back when they had the slot in the back for batteries, those were like cryptographically signed. So I had to like flash firmware and stuff like that to get it to work. But because you have to actually open the newer ones, you open it up, open the thing, and then there's like a ribbon cable, and that's it. I was able to get a third party battery, and now I don't get like 8 hours, but I get close to 7 hours. I get 4 or 5 hours if I'm video editing, because that's a little bit more resource intensive. But for the most part, it's holding up pretty good, and I know I can get another battery for it for like $45. I got a new screen, so I'll probably swap it out. Yeah, that was another one with some of the older monitors. So the one I had before was actually the 3K screen that was glossy, and it was beautiful, but it was frustrating because I got old man eyes, and 4K is just too high for me to take advantage of. And then the fact that with the higher resolution came with a lower brightness, so if I'm on a bright area, I can't see it. Do you run TLP? Yes, I do. I think I do. I got into the habit of running that with my older ThinkPads, just because it did seem to make a difference. Yeah, TLP. I think there's, if I remember correctly, there's some other things in the newer builds of Linux where you can actually artificially slow your processor down to get more life out of it. And I know Papa West had something built in, like, I don't think I can show you on here because this is this doesn't have a battery. Yeah, it doesn't show up here. But I remember there's a tool to slow it down, but I also realized you can go a long way with just lowering the screen brightness sometimes. But then again, you can always just slide one of these in your pocket. I actually have another one that I paid a little bit more that's a full 65-watt charger. It's a bit fatter than this, but not by much. And that one's good because I can use that one while working, and that's useful. That's useful. Used to on my XYT. It worked well. Seemed okay on the 7th. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think I would definitely look into what your options are for a replacement battery. Because I mean, if it's as simple as it was on mine, it's totally worth getting a fresh battery. And I think the third party one was slightly higher capacity than the stock one. I don't know if that's good or bad for anything, but I've had zero issues. Do you know the GitHub project Upscayl? Oh, I have been meaning to look into that. Upscayl. That's the one with the nice little GUI on it. You know what? I'm going to take a peek. I'm going to copy. Come on, bro. Copy. There we go. I think we should look at that right now, because if it's awesome as I'm hoping, Upscayl. All right, Upscayl, free and open source AI image upscale for Linux. Upscayl. See, even if this is one of those things that's not as good as the tool I'm using, if there's like a program I could just be like, hey, use this, and it'll be like boom, boom, I definitely want to at least know about it, but I have a feeling it probably uses something very similar. Linux, let's go to the releases section. You can also download a Flatpak version. Install them, but the full release with pushing the FlatHub for easy access. Controversial take. I love FlatHub. I know a lot of people are like, no, don't use it. Let's see. Upscayl. There is not one yet, so it's not out there yet, but it's gonna be in here. So let's go to release section. Let's play this. Let's play with this thing. Let's learn together. Have you used this yet? Yeah, Flatpak. Oh, Flatpak. I haven't done this in a hot minute. Let's start this here. Save link as. I think I just run an install command, right? I'll stop. If my fingers were, I could type things in the keyboard. Still installing. Downloading. I realize I'm not sharing my screen. You have no idea what I'm doing. Paul Rubens is 70 today. I'm going to turn off my girlfriend's text messages. You guys don't want to read that. My girlfriend, huge Pee Wee Herman fan. Absolutely loves Pee Wee Herman. And could you blame her? So Flatpak install Upscayl. I think that's all there is too, right? Doing in the system folder. Do you want to install it? Yes, I do. Let's do it. This is fun. I'm going to take a second. Take a quick second. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Good news! It's still down installing. But I returned. I think I need to like just stand up and stretch a little bit. Even when I'm at work, like I can't stay in my seat for too long. Like it's probably good that I work from home because I probably annoy the shit out of my coworkers. Sorry, I got the water burps. Are you guys getting enough water? You need to be drinking water. I'm trying to drink more water. I'm trying to cut back on caffeine. I drink a lot of Diet Coke, and that's a problem. Oh, I gotta type in my password again here. I realize you can't see any of that, so you have no idea what my password is. Also, my password is ... It's thinking about it. We are done. Excellent. So, Upscayl. Ooh. And here it is. Wow. Okay. All right, let's do some tests here. We got general photo, digital art. I wish I had more information about what made it run, but I guess that's what the website's for. So let's grab my original thumbnail file. Boop. General photo. Scale folder. Hopefully it doesn't just overwrite the same file. And Upscayl. If that's all it does, and it does a similar job to the program that I'm using, I think it does. I think it might be using the same system. Let's find out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. But all right, so already seems about the same speed. I kind of like this. I really like. I have a coworker who's always wanting me to upscale things for him. I can just be like, "Hey, man, install this, and your problems are solved." He's a Photoshop guy, though, so I think they got that kind of something similar built in. I don't know. The last version of Photoshop I used was SE5, CE5. Maybe it's a new video. How's the diary? Oh man, I love this thing. oh, here we go. Upscayl. We got a preview here. At this resolution, it just looks smoothed out. Wait, which one's the new one? That's a new one. Yeah, it smooths it. We're gonna find out. So let's go. I just close it. Close it. The yeah, 4x. I think this is the same thing. The diarrhea has been fantastic. Yeah, this is the same exact software. It looks like, because there's the upscaled one. It's dirty. I need to clean this keyboard. And one of my thoughts was a keyboard cleaning video. I thought that was funny for some reason. Yeah, this is almost identical, isn't it? This is the same thing. I think it's the same thing. This is great. The diarrhea keyboard. The diarrhea keyboard. The diarrhea keyboard. Diarrhea. Diarrhea. Um. We gotta unplug it, so I will be at the mercy. But there, still alive. I replaced the keycaps with a third-party keycap set that I found on AliExpress. Focus, buddy. I got my oops key, which is starting to come a little chippy there. I got my thumb. I mean my gnome foot. This ugly, cheap artisan upside down key. I was looking for a decorative key that would look normal upside down because I like the feel of the upside down key spacer. And so I want this kind of generic thing. This thing is filthy. This thing is absolutely disgusting. I should be embarrassed and not be showing this to you. I eat every lunch Monday through Friday in front of this thing, and I could probably make a small stew out of what's captured in these keys. I should be embarrassed. I'm not. So these are metal keycaps. And they are not great, but they feel the texture of the metal feels good, even though the key press is less than satisfying. And I kind of put that on there for the lulz. They're like $2. And now I might have misplaced the original wasp from this keycap set. So it's either I can find it or I'm gonna reorder this $20 keycap set, which I really like this keycap set for $20. It was nice. It was like they do the full double shot. It's a little thinner plastic, but it's nice and sturdy. And the fonts aren't offensive. I don't like that overly gamer style that came with the default keycaps. You know what? Also, the keycaps that came with this were kind of have that rubberized material that just falls apart after a while, especially when you put human oils on it. Like I don't like it's one of those things that feels good the first month you have it, but if you get the DK63, replace the keycaps. That's step one. Doesn't have to be a fancy one. Cheap ones like these are good. And I bought them so long I don't even know I can find them on AliExpress now, because they change distributors for things all the time. But yeah, I've been a big fan of it. As for Upscayl, my official stance on that is it's damn good. It looks like it's using ESRGAN. Has a better name, Upscayl. That's easier to say, easier to think about. And I will recommend it. Thank you for I read about it before, but thank you for bringing it to my attention. And now I have it installed, and I can say that it does not suck. I don't know about the stability versus ESRGAN, but I feel like that's a thing that's only a matter of time before it's solved. Cool. You know what we really need now in terms of like very approachable AI? Because we have the video I just released on the internet was about about nerd dictation, where it uses Vosk to generate voice to text, and it does a damn good job. And now we have this upscaler thing. So these kind of like friendly approach, usable tool AI things. We need more of this. We need a lot more of this. I'm hoping more of this is coming. I would like to see better frame smoothing. Like FFmpeg has a tool that can help you translate. Like say you have a video that's 30 frames a second, you want to smooth it to 60 frames a second. It's not using an AI algorithm. It's using something else, but it is so slow and buggy and artifact cities. And I hope someone's able to take the same smarts that they use for something like Upscayl, but in the frame blending world, so we can have a better fake frame blending for video. Because once you put it something like that, make it accessible and functioning in FFmpeg, automatically it's going to be in all the video editors and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of where we want it to be seamless. We don't want to think about it. It's just like there it is. Just there it is, And that's what I want to see. Whew. I've streamed for 55 minutes. This is the longest stream ever. Congratulations to all of you who've been here for this, the longest stream ever. Yeah. I don't know how long I'm gonna be in this apartment, honestly. This is a little housekeeping here. For right now, this is the view that you get. Before I was in the office, we actually have a roommate now, who's taken over the office. That's now her domicile. So now I'm here in the living room. But there's a very good chance in the next few months, probably around December, that I might be moving back in with the girlfriend. Well, the girlfriend moved in with her grandpa. Her grandmother passed away, and she had to move with grandpa. Um, do you have another place to talk, like a group and another social media? Well, I've been using Element a long time for my nonprofit organization, but I'm going to be stepping down from that nonprofit organization in December. And I really do like Element. And I used to have an Element chat for my channel, and I neglected it, and eventually I just got rid of it. So Element is probably a good place for me to set something up, because I feel like that might be a project for this week. I have a 3-day weekend. Well, we have everyone in the United States. Let me rephrase that. Almost everyone in the United States this weekend who is lucky enough to have a employer that's not complete shit will be getting a 3-day weekend. And so maybe that's something I can organize. I need to do some house cleaning. I need to get some things set up. But an Element is probably you can always find me on Mastodon if you're not already on Mastodon. Let me just type that link in here. You know what? I don't have it memorized. I'm such a flake. Yeah, Element is good. I've been using it on the yeah, okay, there you go. So Element is one of those things that, like, when our nonprofit organization wanted to jump on, they were going from Slack, and they were like, one of my board members, he's like, we should go to Discord. And I'm like, well, we're an open source nonprofit. We should be using open source tools. And at the time, like, there was a lot more features in Discord than there was in Element. In fact, this is back when Element was called Riot, which in my head, still a more fun name. But I can understand where some people find that problematic. But for me, it was fantastic. But Element's still a good name, and Element's a good service. But slowly over the last few years, a lot of the features that was missing in Element that Discord have, we're starting to get feature parity. We got the brand new video chat thing rolling out, which is where we ran our meetup, Tuesday night meetup on there, and it worked almost exactly like Discord's. And the fact is, again, decentralized. Decentralized? Anyways, my point is, may not be streaming from here for very much longer, or making videos from here. The set may change, and the place I'm going to be moving into, if I move in with the girlfriend's grandpa, because her grandma died, is smaller. It's smaller, and I'm gonna have less flexibility in the house, but it has a huge backyard, so maybe I'll do an outdoor stream because, Wi-Fi exists. I digress. But yeah, I think the easiest way to get a hold of me, outside of this realm, is going to be my Mastodon, which I've dropped into the chat. That's one of the few applications that's on my phone. I hear it ding every time it refreshes. I may not always be able to respond because, life, job, but I will always see it. And I will always try to respond. So if you're not already on the Mastodon, that's where you'll find me most days. And then that is until we get an Element set up for this. That was a lot of rambling where I never went anywhere. But I will say this. I'm going to take off, folks. It's been a good hour stream. This is a good warm-up stream. You guys are all badasses for being here. I appreciate you. And I'm glad you guys are here to watch me pop my streaming cherry. That's terrible. I shouldn't say that. Uh, but on that note, folks, have a great night, and I'll catch you guys hopefully on Mastodon. If not, on the next stream, which is